never liked it when it came out back in the day. I never like really paid attention to it when I watched it the first time on like Halloween night back in '98 or whatever when it came out. I barely paid attention to it. I was too busy like trying to have sex, and you know, like I didn't find it that entertaining. And then I watched it again, and it's just not my type of horror movie. You know, I like stuff that's more gory and like you know, it has like monsters in it or like gore, or like, you know, people with masks on. Like, I don't know. I didn't like I thought the whole thing with the stupid guys with the scream outfits was stupid as fuck. So that's
and there you go, folks. There's Jeff again, back for you guys that you missed for the last 2 reviews. So
that's right. That's a B-roll intro right there, folks. Happy Monday, MCU'S Bleeding Edge Report, 10/14/2024. The Penguin episode 4, really good. Daryl Dixon episode 3, so, but very watchable though. What's up, fellas? What's going on? Andre's the Pop Culture Guy channel presents. What's up, Cyberneticshark?
What's up? Yeah.
So
Jeff's back.
The Penguin is looking really good, and it's like must see TV at this point. You know?
Yeah.
It's almost like a late season revelation almost for TV. Good for HBO Max, right?
Yes. I mean, I think HBO has been kicking very well this year. I mean, House of the Dragon season 2 was great, and this they're still being consistent as the greatest, you know, channels of all time. You know, so that's good.
I thought House of the Dragon season 2 was not as good as the first season, but that's just my opinion. After a lot of thought, like thinking, you know, I didn't think it was as good as the first season. But what do you think, Cyber? You know, the Penguin is getting better and better, huh?
Every episode of this series so far has been fucking fantastic. Absolutely love it. And this episode, it like definitely was considered probably like a filler episode because it gave you a backstory on like what happened to Sophia and Arkham. But at the same time, it did not feel like that. It was so entertaining, so well done, and you could feel Matt Reeves through this entire series so far. So really well done by HBO.
Was that Mark Strong they brought back?
Yes, he plays the young Carmine for the flashbacks.
That's crazy because Mark Strong is one of the leads in the Dune Prophecy series that we're covering in a month.
Mark Strong took over for John Turturro, who was Carmine Falcone in The Batman. John Turturro couldn't return to play the character, so they casted Mark Strong.
I like Mark Strong. I just think it's crazy that he's going to be on HBO Max again, you know, leading a show in a month. You know, it's crazy. Like, good for him. You know, he's the emperor of the universe of Dune that we're going to be in for Prophecy. He's the, you know, the Padishah Emperor or whatever, just like in Dune, but like in whatever time period that show's going to be set in, right? So yeah, the Penguin episode 4 was something else. It definitely was a filler episode in terms of the fact that it very much steered away from the general storyline or the meat of the show, like you know, its characters, and went straight, you know, to one character basically as like a, you know, as the episode for the episode. And so that was a big change. And I definitely thought at several moments that it had filler vibes to it, but it was also some really cool flashback shit. And as we all know here at the MCU'S Bleeding Edge, right, guys, flashbacks, when done properly, make for some really good TV. Right?
Yep.
Most definitely. So
yeah.
So the Penguin episode 4. I'll start you guys off. I'll start you off, Andre, the pop culture guy, for your general thoughts on the episode overall.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So when I saw the preview that this is going to be a Sophie centric episode, I was like, yes, very excited because I so far been very excited for Sophie as a character in this last 3 episodes we have been reviewing of the Penguin, and this does not didn't disappoint. This is one of the best of the series. I mean, like there were hints at Sophie's background that like she wasn't the Him-Man. If you pay attention to this and the Batman, right? Like Carmine is a very evil person, and he's like very much a serial killer, as well as like the Riddler, and just seeing that like whole betrayal and just loss that she gained those last 10 years was horrible. And and I agree with you, Jeff. This is one of the best flashbacks that you should do well, and they did it. Like I was surprised we didn't spend too much on the flashback. Like they just gave us the important parts of what we need to know about the downfall of Sophie as a character. So very fantastic episode. Very excited to talk about with you guys. And I talked about Cyber. I hope she doesn't die because I want her to be in the Batman sequel because I think she could be a great asset to be a great potential villain for the big screen. But we'll see. But yeah, very happy with this episode. Very excited to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like it seems to me like it's kind of far-fetched to think that they can incorporate her into the Batman too, but like I guess anything's possible, right? What do you think, Cyber?
Fantastic episode, very well done. Like I said, getting that backstory of Sophia's time at Arkham, why she was there, what happened to her while she was there, and kind of what led to her becoming kind of the twisted, demented person we see since the beginning of the series, the season, was a really fun time. And it has so much potential to move from this, especially after the ending for this episode. And it just is a masterpiece, I think, in television. And I think a lot of shows should take a piece of the Notebook out from this. Helen Schaefer directing this episode, because she directed the crap out of it, gave us a really solid, great episode. So I think it's off to a really great start with this, and overall just a really well done episode that I can't get enough of.
Most definitely. It's kind of like vagina. Can't get enough of it. You know what I'm saying? Gotta have it, right?
Yep.
Good for the soul.
Yep.
So the Penguin in flashbacks in episode 4, which is titled Sent Annie, as one word, I guess, which I don't know what that means. I have no clue, but that's what it's CENTANNI, Sent Annie. So in flashbacks, Sophia learns from a reporter that Carmine is suspected of being the Hangman, a serial killer who strangles and hangs women. Her mother had died from similar method when she was a child. Desperate for answers, Sophia meets with the reporter privately. Oz alerts Carmine, who retaliates by framing Sophia for all the murders and having her committed to Arkham Asylum, horrifying Alberto and Oz. So I'll stop there, and I'll go right back to you, Cyber. What are your thoughts on that initial, I guess, third of the episode there?
So, I mean, the episode starts off, right off the bat really well. We get kind of the tail end of what happened last episode, showing Sophia calling somebody and, basically conking out. And then we basically go back to, 10 years prior and showing kind of Sophia way before she was considered the Hangman and everything. And kind of getting to kind of see who she was kind of before. And really heavy Boston accent, I feel, was very centered in this episode. Like she really worked on that accent. And we get some really great information. We get to see Cobblepot before he's kind of become the Penguin that we know from the Batman and from, beginning of this season of the Penguin. And we get to see him as her driver, and we get to see her like working with this fundraiser that's about helping people with, that are going to commit suicide and, mental disorders and stuff like that because of her mother. And so we get kind of that, feeling that, Sophia is definitely different than the other people in the crime family. She definitely wants a piece of the action, but at the same time, she's thinking more of it being contributing to society versus, taking from society, especially doing this, charity work. And you definitely see she has a way different opinion of her father and of her family and everything at this point. And you get to see kind of, what unfolds her, being, talked to by this reporter, and then eventually later on meeting with her in private, and, her basically showing her photos about how all these women have been strangled, and, then they were hung, and that none of the people hung were showing any signs around the neck of being actually hung, but just being strangled. And, basically that leading up to kind of, Oz doing what he does, because he's the driver and he's like trying to take care of Sophia, kind of watch out for her being her driver and stuff like that. And you kind of see through the beginning of this episode kind of their relationship and how they were kind of like brother sister type of relationship at first. And you get to see kind of very little of the Penguin actually in this episode, which is with it being a backstory and everything, I get it, but at the same time, it still was good to see him when we did get to see him and see a different type of Oz. And basically leading up to that encounter with the reporter, you kind of get a sense that Sophia definitely she's up over her head. There's a lot that she doesn't know and that she's unaware of, and we kind of see that in this little section of the episode where she has that conversation with her brother saying, is there things Dad doesn't tell me when he's at the office, and stuff like that. He has a different disposition. We also see kind of how she talks with Oz and how that's different too than how she is in present. So I mean, this portion of the episode leading up to the meeting with the reporter most definitely gives us a different picture of Sophia and kind of a better picture of where she's coming from, kind of what she was before she ended up and how she is coming out of Arkham. So I think it's a really good start to the episode, really well written, really well acted by everyone. And I think that, Christina Milioti is really getting to shine in this episode and show that she actually does have some pretty decent acting chops.
Well, she certainly got a nice rack.
Great body.
She filled that dress out at the end of the episode. So check this out. On Reddit, math teacher who raped a teen boy got caught after leaving claw marks on his back. Tisk tisk. His dad knew about it, but still encouraged the abuse. I love it. The dad is my hero. Everybody, you feel me, Cyber? The dad is the man on that shit. For encouraging his son to continue bagging the teacher?
Yes, but as long as there was no beating.
No, there was no beating, just SA. Just straight SA. Just straight, just straight adult age teacher bagging pedo teen boy.
Hey, every teen's dream.
And of course she's hot. You know what I'm saying? They always are, right?
Yep.
So she's fine as fuck as usual. Makes you wonder, like, why these chicks don't pop up on our radar or some shit. Like, when they want to fuck, they gotta fuck like 14-year-old, 13-year-old boys. You know what I'm saying?
They got that fetish, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, they do. They got that fetish.
I'm thinking about it this way. With that turned around, imagine an 80-year-old guy with a 30-year-old woman, or a 50-year-old woman with a 20-year-old guy. It's kind of the same thing, just more legal.
Oh, it's insane. If it was this, I mean, say this teacher was like, say she's she's 32, right? She's banging this 13-year-old boy or whatever, multiple times you've been fucking or whatever, right? All this shit carrying on. If a dude that was 32 banged a 13-year-old girl, you know what I'm saying? Multiple times and shit or whatever, carrying on, whatever. That motherfucker will go to prison. Like, do real time. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, it's the real though. That's the truth. But it's a whole different ballgame where it's a chick. All of a sudden, like, the people actually feel sorry for the chick. Like, they get softball, they get like no jail time.
Yep.
So props to the dad though for encouraging his son to continue banging the teacher, and keep it out of the DL. That's the kind of father that I respect. He's got his priorities straight with his son. You imagine the pride the father probably had when he knew that his son was banging that soaking hot teacher. Anyways, I'm just Pop Butcher guy. Back to the Penguin, sir. Can you imagine the first time the kid told the father, told him?
No, please move on. We get it. We're proud of this boy.
So two shows without him, he had to make sure he had a great entrance coming back, folks. Just remember that.
Yeah, but nothing beats the one. Oh my god, I forgot what show he went really berserk. And it was so funny, but yes, I think it was one of the reviews we did on one of the shows we did. I don't know. Anyway, so the beginning part was really great. I mean, I like the new perspective we saw in last episode 4. So her hearing out that, Oz was the betrayer. She's the mole, like he was the mole all along, So that was really cool. And, the action there was really great. And of course, she called her therapist that we're going to see later on in the flashbacks, right? So that was really cool. And they entering to the past, like really great, visually, like the simpler times back, before Gotham City became hell, as usual, see her wearing the red dress and just, overall, I thought the actress that plays Sophie is fantastic. Just the way she changed her mannerisms and all that compared to the present is really neat and very spectacular. And seeing Penguin, as a driver is, we got the information last episode. It was like, oh, and then see it through was really great. Like she was supportive of us, she was playing, she's very much a spoiled, rich woman, but she really liked us, and and you can see why the betrayal between her and him was hard for her, because it's she was the nicest person for Penguin. I mean, compared to her brother, where the brother just twice, we know that he doesn't like the name the Penguin, and with her, she protects him and say don't say that name, right? So that was really great. When they brought up the reporter, Summer Gleason, I was freaking out because I know you guys are a little older than me, but that is actually a character from the cartoon show Batman Animated Series. When they dropped that name, I was like, oh, that's so cool. She was like a Vicky Vale version of Gotham Reporter in the cartoon show. I think they I don't know why they couldn't use Vicky Vale in that show, but they made up a new reporter for that cartoon show back in the 90s. So it was really cool. They brought her in to live action. And I thought that conversation was very interesting. The fact that that Carmine not only killed Catwoman's mom and her lover in the Batman, he's been doing this for the whole time. I was like, wow. Okay, so he is really a sick person and a very evil person. We'll get into later of the episode. He is a cold person for real. He's the worst dad ever. Yeah. So yeah, of course she's having this tough time believing the stories about her dad. And of course, just like the Sopranos, right? The kids like they know that their dad is a crime boss, right? And same thing with Sophie and Bolter, Bolter. Yeah, oh my god, yeah, the heart the killer. Uh, from the Law Halloween, they know their dad is a crime boss, and they just pretend they like just don't ask questions about it and just like move on and try to live a normal life, and so that's what happened. It was and they now so like Mark Strong, great actor. Like he looks like the younger version of Carmine in the Batman. I heard some reasons they couldn't bring John back was because he had some schedule conflicts. So I kind of glad they recasted. I'm so happy they did that. I'm happy they didn't go to that stupid CGI thing that's been a trend, particularly with Disney movies. Thank goodness they just get another actor that like resembles John Turturro's version of Carmine and the Batman. So and he just put on like the glasses, with the red tilt. It's really cool. And yeah, so yeah, and so great opening. What's the end point, Jeff? Just want to make
I'm sure you're
uh
there.
okay, there, yeah. Well, so it was interesting when he like, and this is the sad part, like the fact that he offered her, yeah, thank you, offered her to take over the family, and because the son is not doing very well, he's just drinking and partying, right? And the fact he asked about her, talking the potential future of the family business, he wants her to run it, and I it's kind of sad that she doesn't end up doing that because of what happens later in the episode. So very fantastic episode opener, one of the best. It just hooks you right in. It pays off a lot of like plot details that we heard about in the show this last first 3 episodes. Like the driver being the penguins being the driver, Sophie, and all that, and the Handman crimes, which I am very excited to talk about that because I cannot believe one of the best reinvention of the Handman stuff from the the Batman Dark Victory that they're borrowing from for the show. But yeah, very spectacular opening.
Also on Reddit, am I a bad person for caring about body count? Yes, you are. Body count is stupid. Like if you've only ever fucked one person in your whole life, like this dude says in this thing that he's only ever fucked one person or whatever in his whole life, like that's on you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's seriously on you. Like you should have crushed like 200 other chicks by now, right? You should have done it, but like you never did. So like I mean seriously, body count. Who the fucking cares? Anyways, so yes, I just want to say that I thought it was really dope when she mentioned to Carmine about the scratches on his hand, that indicated that he was the hangman, and that he killed the mother and all that, and that's why she got sent to Arkham. That shit's deep, man. That's deep. Like 10 years is a long fucking time, bro, to get put away somewhere, right? So, anyways, back to episode 4. Back to Sophia having been framed for murder of multiple counts and put in Arkham. So she's initially confined for only 6 months in Arkham. But Carmine extends her stay to over a decade by having the family write letters to the judge saying that she's crazy and violent and all this shit and dangerous or whatever. So she's constantly mocked by the inmates while her doctor, Ventress, subjects her to electroshock therapy. Great segment of the episode. Though Ventress' associate, Dr. Julian Rush, eventually realizes that Sophia is innocent and quits. So I'll stop there again, and I will go back to you, Andre's Pop Culture Guy. That's another good chunk of the episode right there. So before we get into Sophia's actual mental break, right, in Arkham,
Yeah. Okay.
So go ahead.
Yeah. So this part is I think the best scenes in the episode. Seeing her being Arkham Asylum, which is cool. Like they kept everything right from the previous film. From the Batman, like what we saw from when the Riddler got arrested towards the end of the film. And another thing, it was crazy. They brought up a obscure Batman villain, Magpie. She's a comic book character. She was made during the 80s from John Byrne, who rebooted the Superman comics, the Man of Steel run that inspired the Zack Snyder Man of Steel. So when because I thought it was Harley Quinn at first, and then when she say her name Magpie, I was like, oh, okay. It was I was like, whoa, and I wish they made the douchey like her main primary doctor Jonathan Crane. Like that could have been awesome to see. The new a new version of Scarecrow in this episode. That he was working in the Arkham Asylum, but whatever. We'll see. I mean, it's still too early, I guess. It's still too early to do a new Scarecrow, but whatever. Yeah, disappointed about that, but whatever. So it was kind of cool. They put this obscure Batman villain next to Sophie, which is great. And these scenes are like so brutal. I mean, it felt like this episode is like The Sopranos meets Requiem for a Dream. Like the way she gets like stripped down and get washed and like getting touched by like all that, like almost reminded me of like Requiem for a Dream, but like in prison. And like the same and the shock therapy, like that reminded me of what happened to the mom towards the end of that film, when her mental state was like just going really bad towards that movie. Like those things were really tough, and like and like it just really plays out the psychological nightmare that Sophie was going through. Being painted as this killer, which she wasn't. It just shows how bad her dad was just to keep her quiet because of a a thing that she barely commit to. She didn't help thoroughly the reporter. She pull herself away from that, so like Carmine was so paranoid, and it's like he did the most worst thing as a dad should never done. So yeah, so I'm very glad he died in the Batman. So thank you, Mr. Riddler. Yeah, so and we see a bit of her therapist, Dr. Julian Rush here, so it makes sense how those two are together. And he feels sorry for what happened to her, but he could have done more to save her, and this part was really great. Like you thought, like one of the great things about the Penguin show that does really well is paying off a early like thing that they set up in the previous episode. Like in episode 2, we met her therapist while she was doing like a therapy session, right? And we saw that scene where she was in the Arkham Asylum meeting Roberto, and of course that was a dream sequence where he got shot there. It was cool to see that's like the actual scene here, and they were talking, and you really see how the brother was very supportive of her, where the other family just listened to Carmine and like portray her and make these falsely statements that she was having this like cycle breakdown, or that she was having some like depression kind of moods like her mom did, which was really sad. And of course seeing the flashbacks of her being a young kid, seeing her mom hanging up the ceiling was kind of really dark, and it's crazy that that she found her mom like that, so it was really bad. Yeah, so I this sequence were just so like powerful, very dark, which is good. I mean, that's the great thing about HBO. You're allowed to do like all these darker things compared to a movie if you don't have the radar thing. So, but yeah, so I think this was a great sequence. And yeah, and I appreciate more of like Batman lore putting into here, not like big ones. But like, I appreciate they put some like small ones like Magpie or Summer Clash in this episode.
Okay, Cyber.
Okie dokie, artichoke. All right. I'm sorry. So we're going to where again? Just so I have a
Up until the
point.
point where Sophia loses it and totally breaks down from the therapy in Arkham.
Okay. So yeah, this section, I mean, we get a really good idea of, what Sophia went through, and we go from her being arrested, and even Oz the Penguin not knowing what the hell was going on, to her showing her being processed, being stripped down and showered and stuff like that. I was actually hoping a little bit for a little cleavage or a little booty shot there, but unfortunately they didn't give us that. I was a little sad. But so we got that, and and then basically kind of her talking with her lawyer, which basically kind of indicates like, yeah, basically you're kind of fucked, basically is what the attorney's saying to her. And that she's got to be in there for 6 months and all this kind of stuff because they're gonna evaluate her and stuff like that. And it's just kind of like and how she gets up, she's like, "You're my lawyer, aren't you able to get me out?" It's like, yeah, like this is a really shitty lawyer. I would not want this as my lawyer, most definitely not. And basically then we go into her first night there, and kind of the process, her getting beat up by that other prison inmate, to the electroshock therapy, to even that the rash guy. You could definitely tell on his face throughout this, like, maybe this is not right. This doesn't seem correct. Like, I'm kind of feeling that, that you are innocent kind of deal, a little bit later on down the episode when they kind of talk about that. But even during this section of the episode, I feel you can see it in Rash's face, like, this is not right, or this doesn't seem right, as a doctor, as he is a doctor and stuff like that. So I think that we kind of get an idea a little bit about that, Rash doctor as well. And we get to see them try to have her kill the other inmate with a fork, which was hilarious. And then the inmate just stabs herself with it too. When that person first came in and started beating up Sophia, I thought that was a dude. I didn't realize that was a woman until the second time I saw her. I'm like, oh, that was a chick. I'm like, okay. That definitely wouldn't be the Orange is the New Black chick I would want on my show. But anyways, so as we go on there, basically them, going back and forth between showing her getting electric shock and just her kind of everyday life, and then meeting her next door neighbor, who is Magpie in the comics, who was a supervillain. And I thought that was kind of interesting that they shared this character, Magpie. I was like, oh, they're trying to show a different character here, which we have not seen in any other DC live action form anyways. I don't know about in the animated series or animated shows or movies. I don't recall hearing the name Magpie very often, but it could have happened. I just don't, I haven't seen everything. But I thought that was an interesting little take too, having this character be introduced. I remember as Sophia's walking down the corridor to her room, and there's the one guy looking through the window. I'm like, oh, is that supposed to be Joker? Is that supposed to be Joker? I was thinking to myself, I'm like, I wonder if that is. But anyways, this is a really great, area that we get to kind of see exactly what happened to Sophia at her time in Arkham, and basically kind of what led her to kind of become who she ends up that we see when she's released from Arkham 10 years later. So I think this is a really great section. It showed a lot of great fun. We had some gore. We had some great, interesting aspects going on in this whole situation. And just overall, I think, Christina Monatley did such a great job here. She was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, she was great. Most definitely. She's a standout in this series without question. They have a very tight cast on the Penguin. The show is not huge when it comes to characters. The main characters are limited, but they have enough with what they already have going on in the Penguin, where we don't really need a lot of new characters to be introduced to the show right now at all. to, to make it better or add energy to it or anything like that. What they have going on right now with the cast that they've already shown us is pretty good. And there's a lot of story left to tell with those characters. But no, she's great. She was a standout. And it's probably guys, for the Penguin, it might be her. She might be the biggest thing that comes out of the success of this show. Could be her, because this is like a breakout gig for her, right? So at least it looks like that for me. I mean, they gave her a big spot in the show. So anyways, back to the episode 4 of the Penguin. So the mental and physical strain eventually leads Sophia from the electroshock therapy and all the other shit. Eventually leads Sophia into a breakdown, and she murders her friend and cellmate Magpie. Great scene. In the present, Sophia is extracted to safety by Rush, the therapist. Having learned from Nadia that Oz murdered Alberto, Sophia decides she can trust nobody. That night, she unleashes a gas in the Falcone mansion that wipes out the Falcone family hierarchy, including Luca. She spares only Gia, her cousin's young daughter, and Vidi, whom she kidnaps. That is the finale of the end of the episode. Great episode. Great big chunk there to work with, guys. Cyber, start us off. Your thoughts on that ending third of the episode.
All right. So basically the end of the episode, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to re-verify. All right. So I mean, going back to present day, after what has happened to her at Arkham, kind of gives you a good indication of why she's the way she is when she comes out of Arkham. Basically her breakdown in Arkham, we get that great scene where she bashes Magpie's head in, which I was like, whoa, that's insane. Basically, they turned her into a monster. If you think about it, her father, everyone that was a part of what her father was doing, turned her into a monster. So all that comes to these people is their own damn fault. And so it cracks me up, them trying to act all like high and mighty when what they did to her was absolutely fucked up. Now, the Rush guy helping her out, I thought was kind of interesting. And that kind of conversation they have where she kind of like says, oh, you're doing this to make your conscience feel better, was cracking me kind of up. And her kind of being like sexy type of deal, kind of like, ooh, I'm using my girlish qualms to get you, to seduce you kind of deal. I was kind of cracking up and I was like, are you using your sexuality, your body to try to like mess with this guy? I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, that's a Harley Quinn move. Like, I'm not 100% sure about Sophia Falcone's character, but this sounds like probably something she would do. And so I was kind of like, this is interesting how she's kind of trying to turn the tides there. But definitely it gave you kind of a really good indication of where her mind was at and kind of where she was at with what happened to her and kind of the change that happened between the 10 years from going into Arkham to coming out of Arkham. And so I think that whole scene was really done well. I thought both of them worked them out really well, but that dinner sequence was absolutely fire. Like, I was like just lit the whole time watching it going, oh my God, this is so freaking cool. And I'm like sitting there going, oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? I'm like, ooh, what's she going to do? Type of deal. And then when she came in that yellow dress too, I was like, I kind of like my jaw dropped. I was like, that's a nice dress. And I was like, she filled it out very nicely. And I was like, that's kind of an interesting dress to be wearing to dinner. And especially when you're about to kill people. Hey, what do I know? You can wear whatever you like when you kill somebody. But I still think that was kind of interesting. That's what she decided to wear. But basically kind of, this is all, I love how it all kind of full circles, 360s, from what they did to her in Arkham, her getting the revenge on them for not being there for her, not helping her out. It's just like I was saying before, like they made this monster or what she became. And so the fact that she actually ends up saving the little girl's life, I was actually surprised by that. But I thought that whole thought process was done so well, and like, how is she gonna do it? How is she gonna kill them and stuff like that? And I was like, And we see her like up in the one room, and she's smoking, and she opens the window and leaves it cracked. I was like, oh, I thought that she was gonna throw the cigarette and like create a fire or something. I was like, that would have been interesting. But then when she just throws it out the window, I was like, oh, okay, that's not how she's doing it. Interesting. And so they, we get that scene where she's smoking, and which is, interesting, and basically leading to her taking the little girl to the greenhouse, having cake with her, having a sleepover, and then all of a sudden her like waking up at one point and like, oh, just go back to sleep, and then goes back in the house with a thing mask on. I'm like, what? I'm like, and then all of a sudden she was like taking things down, opening windows so that the air could get back in, and then all of a sudden you just start seeing all the bodies lying around the mansion. You're like, oh shit, she just totally killed all these people. And like when she gets to that last room where she had left the window open, and it's that one guy that she kept alive, I was like, are you kidding me? I'm like, seriously, you kill everybody else but keep him alive? I'm like, oh, what's in store for him? I can't wait for the next episode. But fantastic last part of this episode. We get so much great things going on. Once again, showing Christina Milioti's improvement in acting. Her acting is so amazing in this sequence, in this whole episode. And I think that this whole ending was just a really great little tidbit in this, this full season that we're getting. And all the deaths, I was like, awesome. Like, this is cool. We killed off all these characters, which we'll probably see in flashbacks, but at the same time, it's kind of like, holy crap, we just killed off all these people. I'm like, holy shit. So really well done, really great ending, and overall just a really great episode. Just fantastic and just really enjoyable.
Okay, I'm just a pop culture guy.
Yeah, no, this was a very fantastic, climax for the third and final act of this episode. I think I was very surprised. By the way, great transitions in this episode. Like, I really like the transition, the Neo hitting Sophie when she killed Magpie. By the way, I was not expecting Magpie to get killed in this episode. I was like, oh, they could, she could be good friends with her, and she would be like another like partner for Sophie to work for her like empire, right? That she's gonna start now, right? And nope, she bent her head like typical slasher, bashing it like Jason Voorhees basically, and it was really cool, and it was like, wow, that was really cool, and I just liked her line, "I am fucking innocent," and I was like, yes, girl, and then bam, gets the the Neo, and then we cut back to the present day. Really great transition to like get us from present day. That was really amazing. Great craftsmanship for this episode. And I really like her conversation with Rush. I think that moment of her talking to her therapist was her breaking point. She really, like, every man has kind of like tried to control her and tried to be this like image of this like a certain woman, right? And you can see that, like, especially how Carmine wants her to be a certain thing when she like went over his head and talking to this reporter, she got punished with that. And then Penguin used her to like get a huge promotion to like gain trust Carmine, and then of course in the present day tried to like take away this drug that she started, and then of course the doctors using her, tried to keep her quiet for for Carmine, like she had enough of be in control and then just be this like one particular image that people would think of, and especially the Hemman, like persona that she was not a killer. You know, that was her dad, and so now she will be forever be associated with the Hemman. So I think her talking to the doctor, because that therapist, despite he has his good intentions, he is also shady. Like he left the hospital, not really helping her completely, and he's trying to like take her in this direction that she is not keen on, but he does it anyway, not realizing his life is in danger around her, which is crazy. So yeah, that's what happened. And then you get to the dinner scene, which was great. I love that little moment when everyone was like, talking, and then it gets. I guess when the guys was like doing that, like 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 she's coming to the dinner, and I just love how she just kept everyone quiet. That's so amazing. And of course, the cousin is trying to try to get out of there, but she say no, stay there. But she allowed the kid to leave, right? And that speech was really great. I mean, fantastic speech. It's all true. She was betrayed by them. She was never the person. It was really cool. She remembers the victims because of the whole therapy and all the torture and those 10 years in Arkham Asylum. She remembers the names of the victims that she didn't kill, and then that was her dad's victims. Really like that detail. And then of course, this moment I was like, okay, she takes the kid down, has this pink book bag. I was like, okay. Going to the greenhouse, I was like, okay. And she has a cake, good cake, it's chocolate. I was happy about that. It'd be so weird it'd be vanilla cake. I'm like, no, chocolate cake is the best. All right. And yeah, when it's morning, she goes in. By the way, I think her wearing the little dress is really cool because she's revealing her scars. Because throughout the first 3 episodes, she has like this neck collar, or like this like a scarf or something that covers her scar that she has gained over the 10 years in Arkham Asylum. Here, you see her scars fully display. Like she no longer is hiding, the trauma and all that she has experienced these last 10 years being imprisoned by this falsely statement by her dad, right? And she goes into the mansion. I was like, whoa, everyone's dead. I was like, what the hell she did? Did she bring in poison ivy to poison the whole area with plants? And then she goes down to the basement, and I was like, oh, okay. She probably just put a filter in, put the gas into the vent, in the vending air conditioners. I don't know what you call it, like those tunnels, right, for the air central, right? And I was like, oh, she is smart. And I love this moment where she's like very joyful, like she's hopping around in the mansion. She's opening out all the windows. Everyone's dead. I was like, whoa, she's like massacred her whole family, and she's like the only one in the bloodline that's alive. And then when she goes into the room with Johnny, I was like, what the hell? Why you want to keep Johnny alive? Like, Johnny is a douchebag. And but then the same thing, he's gonna die by the penguin. So I'll be happy when the penguin kills him. I'm like, thank God the Lord, they could kill him later. But I was so surprised he survived. and he's like, put your pants on. We're gonna talk. And so I'm very curious what's gonna happen in the next episode if we see more of Sophie and Johnny to having that discussion. But we will, Polly. So yeah, just like bravo, one of the best episodes. I think this is going to be the Emmy episode they will submit because it's just fantastic. Or this or last episode will be these 2 episodes that we've seen from last week and this week could be the Emmy nomination submission for this show, because these 2 episodes really show how great this show is. Not as a comic book show, but like a great show, because they're just killing it throughout. The performances is great. I agree with Cyber, Kristen, the actress that's playing Sophie is fantastic. This is her best performance. I I don't know, like this will be her breakout role, I will say, because I mean, uh, just in terms of like, oh, she's really good. You know, she will probably get a lot of roles, and I hope she will survive. I hope because I think she could be a perfect villain for the Penguin to have like a gang war in one of the Batman films. So, but we'll see. It's just a fantastic episode that just makes this character so much interesting. She's one of the best female villains we have since Catwoman in Batman Returns.
Okay. So I think you made a good point, Andreas, that I think it's worth mentioning to Cyber that, I guess in a question for him, Cyber, the Penguin is a Warner Brothers DC, superhero TV series. It is, right? But it's not almost, right? It's kind of straddling that line where, because there's no costumes or anything like that, no Batman, it doesn't feel like a Marvel Disney Plus series or something like that, if you get where I'm going. So what do you think about the fact that, Cyber, this is the best DC content out right now?
Hands down, it is. It's the best series they've put out. It accompanies the Batman very well. And it was worth, 2 years after the Batman away for this because of how much passion, how good of time they put into making this. And it's a really great show. Yeah, it straddles the line of being a DC, hero, superhero type of genre, but at the same time, you don't always need the costumes to be those things. You can do that without having the costume because the content or the creation of the actor or actresses can bring out those performances without the costumes. So I think that this definitely straddles the line of being, I would say, 50-50 in both directions, saying it is a DC Studios or DC universe, but at the same time, it has that dramatic and drama elements too as well. So it's a drama in that field of the DC universe. So it's a dramatic DC telling is basically what it is. So like if we were to take, for example, like Peacemaker, even though they have the costumes, there's still a comedy and dramatic element in that series. And it's almost the same thing with this, just they're doing it the opposite way and bringing more of a gangster element to it. So this is basically if the Sopranos met with the Batman and they put it together. So it definitely has that fine tune of being a dramatic series, but at the same time being in that DC universe and those DC characters.
What do you think, Andreas? Look, Joker 2 is getting widely destroyed by everybody who watches it, and it's not doing well in the box office at all. It's gonna end up losing money. Yeah. I know you love Joker, but I'm just telling you what I hear on the street, right?
I didn't see the sequel because I just heard bad things. I was like, oh, okay, yeah,
yeah. So my point was just that, at that point, besides the Gunn Safran DC, new DCU stuff that hasn't come out yet, right? Although supposedly we're getting the Superman trailer soon. We haven't gotten that yet, right? It's interesting, isn't it, that the Penguin is doing that as well as it is, and it's actually not in the Gunn Safran universe,
Yeah. I know but I think that's the thing. Some projects, when you got a good project like this, it's because as Cyber say, I know it's just repeating. It's just because it's the care that people like. They've done this, like they care about this character, the Penguin, and like are making a great show that is a great sequel to the Batman, and it's also important because it's going to set up part 2, which we don't know what's going to set up part 2, but like it's just giving us more expansion on the Batman universe, which is great because that's what I want. Joker 2, like they couldn't, if like that director and Joaquin cared about quality and made a good sequel, then we could have been talking a different story. But because they kind of just did it because the first movie did so much money, and to be honest, me, you, everyone in the internet has said before, we didn't need a sequel to the Joker. I mean, like, yes, it made money, but like it felt like a standalone solo story that didn't need like a sequel to it. So like it's one of those weird things. Like Warner Brothers were way overthinking it, and plus they way overspent that, like the budget on the Joker 2. I was like, what the hell you guys were thinking? They took the wrong approach for making that sequel. I just never understand what they were doing. So where here, the Penguin, like I understood what Matt Reeves is trying to do here, like just branding the Batman universe, expanding the world of Gotham City, because I can definitely tell from Matt Reeves, he really cares about Gotham as a character, like as a Batman fan, but Gotham City is a character. And that was something I hate about in the Dark Knight trilogy, despite that's a great series. They were so inconsistent about how Gotham City was. Like first it was like a Blade Runner X kind of city, like in Batman Begins. But then the Dark Knight, it was like just completely Chicago, very much Heat, Michael like Man movie, right? And then Rises was like Chicago and mixed with New York. It was just the geographic thing was so bizarre. So I'm happy to see the Batman universe with Matt Reeves. He's really expanding Gotham City as a character, and you're seeing how the replications and all that from the Riddler explosions is affecting the neighborhoods and all that. So that's the care that we're looking for. Same thing with Marvel. So so that's what happened. I'm still hoping for the best for the DC Saffron Gun stuff. We haven't yet started yet. I mean, I know Creature Commandos is coming this month or December. We're not there yet for the new content under James Gunn, but this is good for Gunn. I mean, Penguin is giving us at least something for DC, and you should not be worried about it. All right, like Marvel has bad things and they had good things. They had Echo this year, but guess what? They had X-Men 97 and Deadpool, Wolverine, and then right now Africa. So they're in a big win. And here DC, they got a big win with the Penguin. So the Joker 2, it was just the wrong movie, and that's what happened. So that's what happened. So it's just you need to have the right creative team to make these projects great. And sometimes it doesn't happen. Like 9 out of 10 sometimes in these projects.
9 out of 10. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you for that accurate numerical breakdown.
No. 10 out of 10 for this episode. That was just like 9 out of 10 of the projects that we get that were full of crap. So stupid.
I like how you carried through right to ratings like that. That was good.
Yeah. So my actual rating for this episode is a 10 out of 10. One of the best episodes of this series. I love it. I'm excited to hear your guys' ratings. It's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I'll give it a 10 out of 10. What do you think, Cyber?
Oh, definitely 10 out of 10. This was a fantastic episode from beginning to end, and it just concluded so fun, and I can't wait to see what happens after this. It left me on my seat wanting more. Like, I need more of this series.
It's it really makes it a lot more encouraging to want to sit down and discuss and review these episodes of these shows when they're good, right? Like it really
exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you actually excited, when you're watching it to want to talk about it,
Yeah, four more episodes we have for the show, which is crazy.
I know it's going fast.
Yeah.
Cyber, great job, sir. It was good seeing you again.
Always good to see you, good sir.
Thank you for holding the ship down while I was gone. I appreciate it.
No problem. I kept your spirit there. Ask Andres. Your spirit was 100% there each episode.
I'm sure Andreas kept my spirit alive too in his own way. So.
Yeah, No, no. I
What?
told when we did the Friday 13th, when he started to be like you, I was like, hell no, please. He did the titty juice. He did the freaking clip about the baby leg under. And then the other clip with the two chicks in the bathroom. I was like, what the hell? Uh, yeah. You kept your spirit well, Jeff. You kept your spirit well. Where I was like,
That baby leg
yeah.
video is awesome. I love that video. That's great.
I made sure to throw him in at the right point too, and there was some great moments there where I just decided I'm like, so do you think has to do with this? And I put it on. It was oh god, so
Nice.
perfect,
Oh, yeah.
so perfect.
Nice. I'm sure Mr. Marvel enjoyed that when he came on.
Oh
Yeah,
yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
he did.
how was Mr. Marvel? I think I missed him.
He was okay. He was good.
Yeah.
Everyone was good on Wednesday. It was really fun. I mean that was
No,
Wednesday.
Friday.
Oh no, Friday. Yeah, sorry, you were there Wednesday. I'm sorry. Yeah, Friday was great. No, that was Nights, right? Nights was with us on Friday. The Friday 13 review. He was fun.
You had Drew on Friday, and then Wednesday Wednesday for Agatha, you had Jesse Starcher. I missed Jesse Starcher, man. I was
Yeah. He was great. Yeah. It was fun. It was fun for those 2 days. It was really great.
Oh, Jesse's always great.
Oh yeah,
Jesse's good people. He's good people, man.
He said he was going to contact you because he wants to be a part of the last episodes of Agatha.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is he enjoying the show?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, good for him. I'm glad. I know you're enjoying it too, Cyber, right?
I love Agatha.
I'm
really shocked.
I'm down an episode right now. I got to get caught up. I'm down an episode. I got to watch 2 so I can get caught back up with the show. I can only watch 1 until Wednesday, but I got to watch that episode that I couldn't watch. But I didn't have Wi-Fi. Episode 5.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was a good one.
I heard a lot of stuff happen why I missed it. So, but anyways, guys, well, listen, that's the Penguin episode 4. I can't believe that we're halfway through already on the series. It's crazy. Time is flying by really quick. It's gonna be November before you know it. But Cyberneticshark, sir, we appreciate you, sir. We will see you. We will let you go and see you on Wednesday. Thank you very much, and have a great evening. Tell the wife we said hello.
Yep.
Will do, folks. You guys have a great night. Enjoy talking about Daryl Dixon.
Oh, we will. There's a lot of good stuff to talk about Daryl Dixon. Daryl Dixon's direction.
Peace.
Peace. Bye.
Peace.
Oh no, I'm alone. Please cover yourself, me.
Oh, stop.
I'm joking. Oh, by the way, before we start, I wanted Wednesday was really fun. We had the biggest response in the comics. Like the comment section was blowing up. It was crazy. And on Azaka all along, when you were having trouble with your Wi-Fi, Cyber was doing the moderation, and we're the viewership in I don't know in Twix or some of the other social medias were like going up to 54. It was crazy. So it was a very lively live stream that day. Yeah.
So Cyber was busy, huh?
Yeah. It was really cool. And the commenters were great. Like we had new ones, and we got one familiar one. I think it was Judge. He came back, and it was because the episode was very big. Obviously, when you get to see that this week, it was a big deal.
Yeah, we had Mr. Marvel on for the first time. We had Jesse Starcher on.
And who's the other fella that was there? Tim, that's not Tim. What was it? Was it? I don't want to say his name right.
Tim is coming on for the Predator, but that wasn't.
Yeah, Tim. No, that wasn't Tim. It was I forget his name, but he was in our show before. I just forgot his name. I just but anyway, it was a great show.
I can't remember either. You got me stumped.
Yeah, let me go to the MCU'S Bleeding Edge. See what I got here, because
I can't remember.
His name is very easy. And
Brad.
Oh yeah. He was great. He was there too. Again, fantastic. It was a great show. Great.
Yeah, Brad's
great.
always good. I like Brad.
Brad. Yeah.
Yeah, Brad's good. He's always good.
Yeah.
But what do you
yeah.
think, sir? Daryl Dixon, episode 3, Davey. Daryl Dixon, the Book of Carol,
Book Carol.
season 2, episode 3. What do you think, sir? I think it was definitely a step down for episode 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I actually I kind of agree with you with that. Because they killed off a character that I like. I mean, not like my favorite, but like it was like, oh, why you kill her? You know, it's like, yeah, I kind of agree with you. There was just too much going on in episode 3, and we'll get into it. I just feel like now we have 2 villains going on. Not only we got the UN now becoming villains, you know, the Nest becoming like a major villain now, and you know, Carol talking to Durant. And yeah, it was a lot going on, but it was not bad. I think it's better than episode 1, but yeah, I agree with you. It's a step down for episode 2.
Yeah, I mean there was some really good action in episode 3. Good action.
Yeah.
Good flashbacks, right? Just like the Penguin, great flashbacks, right?
Yeah.
It had some Walking Dead vibes going on, right?
Yeah.
Without question, with the flashbacks and all that shit, there was Walking Dead vibes going on, and right, and then they, you know, it was an interesting episode. You know, a lot happened. You're right. There was a lot going on, right?
Yeah.
They wanted to put Carol with Janae, you know.
Yeah. Well, see, that was my favorite part about the episode. That was my favorite part. I think the Durant, like getting more to know about her as a person was really great. Like I know I don't know, like the opening was really cool to see her prior to the zombie outburst, and that she was like a janitor, and like, you know, she was totally different from the one we know now, right? And so it was so cool to see her transformation. Man, her husband, like, oh dear Lord, like I knew he's gonna be dead, and he like just stands there. He's like, the walker came in, he's like, he just allows himself to die. I was like, what the hell, man? You can easily push that walker, right? Nope, he's dead. And then, you know, the wife sees him and is like, oh no, my lover. And yeah, and then she becomes the evil bitch we know in the show. So that was really cool, and I just like her conversation with Carol. Like she's really cool. Like I like the way she say, "I'm the person that took the pain from the fucking wall." That was a really cool line. I like the cool moment when she forced the soldier to eat in the floor because he was complaining about, you know, the food was bad, and like that. Those moments were really great. The part was the nest. Like I didn't like the nest. It was so like not bad. It was just like it's like they're forcing the kid to be bitten by a walker, and they use the friend was Sylvie gets killed in this episode. I was so sad that she died. Like, come on, you know. And yeah, and then they used her to be a walker and to bite Laurent and all that. So yeah,
I think they just wanted to kill a character. I think they just wanted the death.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, it was so unnecessary. That was the thing for me. It was like unnecessary. It's like we don't need like a major kill here. Like, yeah.
Well, I mean, well, you know, that chick was she was a throwback to season 1. You know, so I liked her for that. You know, that you could tie her to season 1. You know,
yeah.
Like, but to keep with the roots of The Walking Dead, right? You gotta kill people. You gotta kill characters off.
Yeah, that's true. Like, come on, Daryl. He can easily shoot the guy who's the leader. Like, that guy is just such a douche. Like, come on. Like, this is the weak faith.
You can't say nothing about Daryl. In that one action scene, Daryl killed like 20 fucking guys.
Yeah, that was great. That was a great action scene. Like him trying to kill them with the stick was really cool. The arrows was really great. You know, like great weapon to use for Daryl.
He went barehanded on that one. He used a stick. He had that fucking big knife, right?
Yeah, the big knife.
That big knife. Holy fuck! Just like the one from Walking Dead. Is that the same knife from The Walking Dead?
Sort. No, it has to be different, right? Because
He had
he
that
said,
big knife in The Walking Dead too. He had that big knife.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think it's the same knife.
You see him stab motherfuckers with one stab and like dropping them, you know? And like with that knife, I believe it. You know what I'm saying? Like that, like I believe that you would drop somebody with one big stab with that shit. That's a big knife.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But it was kind of fake too. Like, come on now. Like when you stab somebody with one stab, they still move. They get up. You know what I'm saying? Like they make noise. You know, they scream or whatever. You know, or like make noise or whatever. You know, like these dudes were just dropping.
Yeah, I mean, it was like through the stomach, so it's an instant kill. I know, but I mean, it's a TV show.
That's not true. You know, when you get stabbed in the stomach, you bleed.
Yeah, but I mean, they basically will die out of bleed, out of loss of blood. But I mean,
it takes time. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah. And look, when I say this to my dad when he was still alive, like I told him it's just TV. It's not real. It's unrealistic. Like I know.
That was some of that was unrealistic. Come on, it was.
Yeah, it was. I'm admitting it. So like, it's just funny, but yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Cool. He still killed 20 people.
Yeah,
like he killed 20 guys. People.
Yeah. Hey, like did he during that scene, like, because he gets captured later, right? Did he got knocked up?
And he's all hurt and everything. How did he get hurt?
Yeah, I mean, they're torturing them for information where Laurent is. It makes sense, but my question is, like, did he get hit by someone so that he got knocked off? Like,
they caught him. They just caught him.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's weird.
From the trailer, that scene in the trailer where he gets caught on the staircase.
Okay. Yeah. Because yeah, that's a weird way to get captured.
He got overwhelmed. I was freaking out during the episode. Several times I was freaking out with Carol. Like, she was doing stupid shit, bro. She was doing stupid shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna get caught, bro. Like, you're gonna get caught, Carol. You know?
Yeah. I don't know why she talked to the person. First of all, what happened to Ash? Did Ash died last episode?
For real, where did Ash go? He just like bounced, I guess. I don't know. No, he's back at the plane. Remember?
Okay. Well, yeah, because she left Ash because she went to the city, right? And she gets captured by.
When did Carol get so tight with that dude at the camp?
They were tight. Yeah, so see, that was my problem. I was like, how do you know this person? And like, how, like, we're skipping time. Like, I don't know how long she's been there. It was so weird with that person. And she got she got blackmailed. Well, not blackmailed. She got betrayed by his wife, right? Because she wanted to save him from getting killed by Durant, right? I don't know. It was so weird. Like, the way that she got caught by Durant.
I thought the dude like ratted her out.
Yeah, I was surprised about the wife. I was like, whoa, what's going on here? And I don't know. I thought he was gay. I thought he was talking about him. Yeah, Cyber.
What wife? There was a wife? I didn't even notice the wife.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I was trying to watch the episode the second time. But it was just things caught my other attention, and I had to rewatch the Penguin because I loved episode 4 so much. Because he say, like, in the beginning of the episode, he's talking to Carol that his husband gets captured, implying he's gay. I think if not, I'm remembering badly, but like he's married to someone, and that's what happened. And I guess his wife betray him in this episode, like betray Carol because she was trying to save him from Durant, maybe. But it was
because that dude was like all down for Daryl, like
he barely
even knew Carol, and he's like, "Where's Daryl?"
Yeah, what's Daryl? Like, yeah, is he working in the kitchen, or like it's like he doesn't work in the kitchen. He's not in here. Uh,
When
yeah,
Carol was walking around asking people randomly about Daryl Dixon, that shit was so stupid.
yes.
I was like, come on, dude.
Come on, you're the smartest person. Why you want to like attract attention to Duran and everyone? Because they literally are after Daryl and of course the Nets and everything, right? But like, yeah, she was not making smart decision, Carol. Like I thought Carol was making a lot of stupid decisions, and of course, not knowing that Durant was going to put her in that group, to turn them into the hens walkers, the burners or whatnot, super soldiers walkers. Like she was so dumb to say that I was here to kill Daryl, and like, I know that, like, allowing the location to be used,
And of course, Kudrow was right there when she was at like looking at
Yeah,
Daryl Dixon. Kudrow was right there. Like Janae let him live. You know.
yeah. Yeah, what's she's gonna do now with Garant? Like that's gonna be done. Yeah. So yeah, there was just a lot too much going on with the
I
storylines.
I like the idea that they're gonna connect Carol with Garant. You know,
Yeah, that
that's
was good.
cool.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, thankfully he's alive. I was happy he didn't die. But yeah, yeah, yeah,
He's a good character. He's gonna come back. He's not done.
yeah. No, no. I mean, he did. He still wants revenge from like Daryl. Like we need to still pay that off. Like still. So I mean, I hope he will survive. I mean, this series is renewed for.
Does he really want revenge though? Because maybe he doesn't want revenge anymore.
I. Yeah, that's the thing.
He
I
knows where Daryl is.
yeah. I That's tough because like he knew the location, but then that's before he got captured by Durant, right? Like if they get rid of Durant this season, like he could be the next big bad for the third season that we're gonna get for Daryl Diskin. Like
But he let Daryl go in the finale. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like
well
he let
yeah,
Daryl go.
well yeah, he spared him because he wants to kill him personally. He didn't want Durant and everyone to be involved with this like revenge driven plot for it that he's after. You know what I mean?
Didn't Daryl tell him though that like he didn't kill his brother?
I'm trying to remember. Did he in the finale? Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Like I mean, he well, like no. Like he's still angry at Daryl, but like he spared because he wasn't gonna go through killing the kid. That's the thing in that finale. Like he didn't want to kill the kid. He was just after Daryl. He's fine killing Daryl, but
I think him and Daryl are gonna team up.
maybe
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, now that Carol is there, like Carol will definitely free Karan. Here's the thing, like I think Carol will free Karan, and then those two will meet up with Daryl, right? Maybe end of the series. I don't know. Yeah, there's
We'll have
just
to
a lot.
see.
Yeah, we'll
See it.
see, because we know we're going to go back to the club that Laurent's father, like Laurent's late father, was running. That his girlfriend has taken over, because we're going to see that club again, in this season. If you
Why?
see the,
Why is it in the trailer?
yeah, yeah. When yeah, because the trailer show her talking to Daryl, and like she asks, like, "I'm surprised you're alive," like, and you say, like, "Well, yeah, I know many people kill me." Like it's there. So we're going back to that clock, maybe in maybe 4 or 5 soon.
Daryl's invincible. He's invincible.
Oh yeah, I mean, come on, he has bulletproof vest character.
I mean, you already know that him and Carol are going to survive. It's not
Oh
like The
yeah,
Walking Dead. You know what I mean? Like it's not like The Walking Dead where like you actually had to worry about them killing off main characters.
yeah, yeah.
This is Daryl Dixon, the Book of Carol. So we already know that even though it might make you a little bit nervous watching Carol running around mountain horses and shit during the episode, it might make you a little scared as a fan. It's all TV, like you said. They're going to survive. You know?
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. Yeah, no. I mean, the only time they kill off the characters, either they have deaths in the comic books, which I don't think Carol died in the no. Yeah, Carol did die in the comic books, but differently. And of course, this version of Carol is different, so they're not gonna kill off Carol.
Carol was not a major character in the Walking Dead comic book.
Yeah, she died very quickly in those books. That's the thing people had to remember. And then Daryl is.
That's the cool thing about the first couple of seasons of Walking Dead is that I watched a video on YouTube about the Walking Dead the other day. It was the most popular TV show in the world at one point. It was that popular.
Yeah, it was up to season 5. Like 5 seasons, they were like the top TV shows.
Most watched TV series in like history or whatever. It was the most watched TV ever. It dominated everything. It was like The Walking Dead was everything. So and that made fan favorites out of some of the characters. So they kept them around. Like Tebow.
Yeah.
Tebow was always supposed to be on the show for 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Instead he was there for 3 seasons.
Yeah, it was really sad he got killed. In season 3. He was a good character.
I know Tebow was a good character.
Yeah, he was really great. Another character that was great.
We lost a lot of good characters over the years.
I know, so many. It's crazy. Glenn, I'm still upset that Glenn died. I was like, oh, come on. And then
that's what killed the show, was killing Glenn. That's what killed the show.
Yeah. I can see why. Yeah. What else we have
those crazy cliffhanger episodes they had where he died, but he's alive. But then it took 5 episodes to go back to him.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
Dumpster, and then with Negan coming to the show and like the finale of season 6 or whatever. And then they kept it going to the first episode of season 7. You had to go back to watch to see who Negan killed.
Yeah, because he killed the first victim was Abraham, right? Abraham
and he killed Glenn.
Yeah, and he killed Glenn. So 2 major deaths. It was crazy. Oh, that was horrible. Yeah. See that made me lose interest in the show. That the whole faking the Glenn's death before his actual death was so stupid. I hated the guy he was with because he was the character from season 5 that was so bad and so annoying.
Oh yeah, that one guy, yeah. And that the YouTube video I watched mentioned how somewhere around like season 3 is when the main producer started to go in the direction of breaking up the characters with the episodes to where they would jump the plot lines from episode to episode, and you would only see certain characters in certain episodes, and then you would have a break from certain characters.
Yeah.
For a couple episodes, and then you see them again.
Yeah, it was okay in the early seasons, but it was really bad when they got into it in 5. Despite I like season 5, but it was really dumb.
I liked all the original seasons. I liked all those first couple seasons. That season 5 was really good.
Yeah, it was really good. It was but also
that was the Alexandria season.
Yeah, that's when they came to Alejandro again, the first time, right? My thing was also they had too many filler episodes. There was just one episode, right? You remember there was one episode that were walking for the whole episode. It was so bad. That was the thing about the showrunner.
Weren't there multiple episodes there for a while there where they were just walking for whole episodes?
No, it was one episode. That was the thing. I remember it because it was before they meet up that other character.
After season 3, after the prison with the governor, everybody was walking. Remember?
Yeah, but season 3 they were in the prison. They were trying to rebuild the prison, right? They were not it was season 4, because season 4 the governor attacked him, and then there was a few episodes where everyone were separated. Remember, because they lost Beth. Beth was missing because she was taken by.
Didn't they pick up Rosita and all that shit through the governor?
Yes, because Rosita survived from the attack. Because her sister, I don't know what happened to her sister. I think she died during the attack.
Rosita was on The Walking Dead for a long time.
Yeah, crazy. yeah, crazy. Who else was there one time? I mean, yeah.
There's a lot of characters. There was Bob. Remember Bob?
Oh my god, I don't know Bob. I don't know the newer characters. I know that one character that had the tiger as the pet, and he became the lover for
Oh yeah,
Carol.
for Carol. Yeah,
Yeah,
the king of that one group, that one like uh
yeah,
whatever you call them, whatever you call the groups in The Walking Dead.
yeah. I let me check that because I know he has a name, something like that.
Yeah, his people wear the armor.
Yeah, the armor. Was it Alpha? No. That's a different one.
Alpha was the villain of the Whisperer arc.
Yeah, Eugene. No, Kane. Kane Keen Exili. If I'm saying it right. Hold on. I put it in the chat right now. In the public chat, because he was a lover for Carol for several seasons, and he had the tiger until the tiger got eaten by the walkers in one of the later seasons. I put the name there.
Ezekiel.
Ezekiel, yeah. Okay, so and you know what's funny about Ezekiel? He was actually supposed to be in love with Michonne in the comic book, but then it changed it into Carol in the live action ones. I'm just checking in his Wikipedia, which is cool. Yeah, and he survived, which is cool. He's an interesting character.
Yeah,
Uh,
he made it all the way to the end. I think it's a
yeah,
character. He made it all the way to the end.
yeah, which is cool. And he did marry Carol. They become a couple, and they adopt a kid apparently. So yeah, um,
I
uh,
fell off. I fell off before they broke up. Before they broke up into the hilltop and all that shit. I
yeah,
stopped
yeah,
watching at that. I stopped watching at that point when Nika came in and all that. So
yeah,
I never really understood or really had a good feel for like all the different camps or whatever they lived in. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. One of these, I don't know, like
But then I would go back. But then I would go back and watch sometimes, and I would catch an
oh
episode
yeah,
here
you
and there,
do.
and it would bring me back in, and I would be like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah, I don't know. I am tempted to go back to the ritual because I mean I have the AMC for I have
Like,
AMC.
I remember Jadis when she first came to the show. I remember Jadis, the junkyard,
Yo,
the junkyard people or whatever.
yeah, yeah, they were creepy. Great Walker designs there too. Oh, yeah, they were great. I like the Alpha, the Alpha group. Like
That
they were
that was
cool.
that was when we both dropped off as Walking Dead fans. Was like right around then,
Yeah, around there.
around season 6.
Yeah, season 6 is where I completely drop off. Like I don't know how you drop off. Like I think I drop off in the midway in season
Season 6.
6.
Remember, because I didn't want to watch the first episode of season 7 because I didn't want to see Glenn die.
Yeah. After that episode, I saw the first episode of that, and then I think I stopped there, and I was done. It was just too much. And yeah.
Killing off Glenn really was a really big blow.
Yeah, it was really. I don't think it was the killing for me. It was just the storylines because they dragged.
He was a heart and soul character of the show,
Yeah.
He was a main character of the team, the squad of the Walking
Yeah.
Dead, the main squad, and he was an OG Walking Dead character. And they killed him off.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I don't know. Like, I don't think it was the death that really hurt it. I think it was just the storylines that showrunner you brought up. I feel like the showrunner just took way too much time on things that should have been like quick in the storylines, and like that's the problem with TV shows where you have these multiple huge episodes, like The Walking Dead, that had like 60 episodes to do. And it's like you can easily cut that down to 13 and like have a slim storyline. And like that's one of the things I like about these new Walking Dead projects. They're like 6 episodes, which I mean, granted, like
Yeah. After season 1, they locked in the 16 episode per season schedule, and that was it. They did that for the rest of the they did that for the rest of the show.
oh yeah, but they went even forward, like the final season were like 20 episodes. Like
Didn't they have a couple of 20 episode seasons during the years?
in the final two. So like here, I have it here. 10 was 22. So they went up after being 16 episodes from season 3 to 9. And then 11 went up even more to 24, which was the like traditional like episode count in broadcast stuff. Like, come on, 24.
Wow, that's a lot of episodes. Holy fuck.
I know, it's so crazy, and there's reason why it's that big, because the COVID, because
Could you imagine reviewing a show for that long, like doing the reviews and shit for like 24 shows?
I cannot do that. I'm trying to think, like when I started to do podcasts, like all my episode stains have been 10 or 6 episodes, like never 24. It's no way I could do that. Yeah, like
I can do it, but how do you stay connected to it over the span of all that? You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. It has to be commitment. Like if you like the thing, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It's just too much. I think 22 episodes is better than 24.
Well, they had that mid-season break deal. That they would split the season into 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I never liked that when I was growing up. It's always like they were just wasting time, and it's like, can we just have the schedule organized? Like, I get holidays, like Columbus Day or like Thanksgiving. Like, I get the holidays, but like some holidays are not as big as the other holidays. Like, I never understood the breaks. Yeah, I don't know. It was stupid. Yeah. So that was the thing.
well, all right, there you go. So, what do you think? You're on this episode 3.
Yeah.
Give me your rating and give me your thoughts on the episode.
Sure. Yeah. I'll give it 8 out of 10. I mean, it was good. It's better than episode 1, but it's not as good as episode 2.
Okay. Do you have any thoughts on the episode? Do you have any general thoughts?
Like
now that we went back and forth on it for a little bit.
Yeah, I think it was it get us to a very interesting place with Durant as a villain, which I like, because Durant is a great villain in the Walking Dead universe. She's my favorite. I like that Carol is very close to meeting Daryl very soon, which is great. We'll see how it plays out in next week, episode 4. But it was just too much going on with this episode, and there was an unnecessary death that we really need. So it was an okay episode where great action, like really great action here, great moments of our characters, but it was just a little too much going on.
Okay, yeah, I mean, there was a lot going on. I think that Carol's part of the 2-part story fell down a little bit this episode. It kind of fell off a little bit.
I agree.
Yeah. And it was cool seeing all the Janae stuff, though. I like the Janae background stuff, Like,
yeah.
I like to see a good, like, villain reveal, Like, I love it. I like to see a good villain that's actually got a backstory. You know what I mean? Like, actually has a story,
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, they did a really good job of expanding her character a lot in this episode, which is good.
She's an interesting character. I mean, she's the villain, Like, I mean, she's interesting.
Yeah. No, I agree. I like her. She was the best thing about this episode. Like, she was the MVP, I would say. We have to say, like, who was the MVP for this episode. It was her, because her.
What happened with that scene where her husband got bit by the walker? That was terrible. That was bad.
That's what I tell you. It was so stupid. They were like holding their hands into the window.
His neck got bit, and it was like a river of blood, like going down from the bite and all this shit. Like, it was bad. Like, what the fuck happened, man?
What? That's a score. Like, that's what it's supposed to be. Like, I mean, come on. It was funny. I mean, it's the first kill of the Walker, so it was not going to be like how we usually see in the original timeline and all that. Yeah,
It was really like played down compared to like how Walker deaths used to be on Walking Dead.
what, like more like getting into the body and all that.
Yeah,
I mean,
like getting getting close up and everything, getting close up with like the gore, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. I think it was just no. I thought the kill was a really brutal kill. It was quick. That was the thing. It was like so quick.
I thought it was so cool to go back to the beginning of the pandemic, the beginning
Yes.
of the infection, right?
Yeah.
Again, for the first time in so long, right?
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, just like episode 2 from last season. Remember when we were getting more about Isabel's background, and like she was like a party stealer, drug user, and we saw the beginning of the pandemic, right? And that was really cool. And so yeah,
she sucked in this episode too, Isabel. Her arc sucked in this episode. Like,
yeah,
she gets caught, right? They throw her in with Daryl. It's like such a given. You know what I mean? That they would do that, right? Like they throw her in with Daryl, and she's like, "I love you, Daryl." And Daryl don't say nothing back because he's Daryl.
Yeah. Of course. I mean, Daryl, he's the man. What he's gonna do?
And then they take her away, and Daryl's like, "What are you doing? Where are you taking her?"
Yeah, I know. I mean, look, they fall in love, so like it's gonna happen, right?
Things got a little bit sloppy there at the end with the nest and all that shit. Like it got a little bit sloppy there.
Yeah, it was so quick, and they were gonna interrogate them, and it's like, yeah. I think episode 4 is gonna be better because I feel like there's gonna be more.
They were let what's his name die.
Yeah, Sylvie, one of her best friends died. Like,
no, what's his name? The kid, Laurent.
Oh, Laurent, yeah, because they think he's like immune to the walkers.
Yeah.
Which how they know that? Like, I guess he was born out of her mom, but like she wasn't yet a walker until she turned. So it was kind of weird.
He was born by the Force, just like the Acolyte.
No, don't even read up. Acolyte, it does. No, see, folks, Laurent was born actually by birth because she fucked a person that was male, unlike the Acolyte where there was witches.
He fucked what's his name that died. Remember he had that good death. He saved Daryl and Laurent.
Yeah, the club owner, the dad. Yeah, he was the father. Yeah, so he had a good death. He was good.
So, throw back to season 1. He was good in season 1.
Yeah,
I'll give the episode a 7. I'll give it a 7. I love Daryl Dixon. I go into the episode like totally jacked out, like all like into it and all that,
Yeah.
But I gotta be honest about it though, like it wasn't a 10 or anything like that, But episode 4 was like a banger. Episode 4 was like a banger. Like they're gonna fucking let loose all the walkers with the vaccine or whatever.
Yeah, hopefully. And I mean, and also we're gonna get the super soldier walkers attacking the nest, which is cool. So very excited with next episode. Will be better than this episode, so which is good.
Okay, all right, folks, we're out of here. No plugs tonight. We're just gonna get out of here. Call it a day. We'll do plugs on Wednesday. This is the MCU'S Bleeding Edge YouTube channel podcast with the MCU'S Bleeding Edge Report. For special guest co-host, I'm the pop culture guy. I am Jeff S, aka True Knowledge. We'll see you later. Peace out.
Peace out.
God bless you. And God bless that father with that